Those familiar reminders that NBA basketball has returned. Autumn winds, leaves changing color, a Kawhi Leonard injury hovering over the Clippers. To be clear, Leonard's health is no joke. We all want to see the two-time Finals MVP back on the court, preferably for more than just a few weeks or months at a time. But as Leonard enters his age 33 season, durability appears a pipe dream, and we're reminded just how spectacularly the Clippers botched things. Lingering inflammation in Kawhi's surgically repaired right knee, which has withstood an ACL tear and multiple meniscus injuries, will sideline him to start the season. Clippers fans are looking for someone to blame, or at least for an explanation. Now, there doesn't have to be a scapegoat, but fans can be forgiven for feeling misled by the many twists and turns in this saga. At this point, if Leonard or a Clippers official tells you the six-time All-Star is feeling great or progressing well, you can rest assured that the out indefinitely press release is just around the corner. When Leonard was sent home from Team USA's July training camp, Clippers president Lawrence Frank insinuated the national team was being unfair to Leonard. By Frank's estimation, Kawhi looked very good in camp and should have been given a longer runway to prove he could be ready for the Olympics later that month. Now, 3 months later, Leonard's troublesome right knee has prevented him from taking part in any contact-related preseason work, and he'll begin the regular season on the shelf.
Something got added up wrong.
So either Frank and the Clippers were misled by Leonard's camp, the Clippers are purposely misleading everyone else, or Leonard's knee is simply too unpredictable to ever bank on again. Either way, it underscores just how baffling the team's 2024 has been. Last season marked 7 years since Kawhi had played more than 60 games in a season. Yet a half season of improved health was all the Clippers needed to see before handing him a 3-year extension worth $149.5 million in January. A 31-8 stretch from November through January was seemingly enough to convince the front office that a creaky core of Leonard, Paul George, and James Harden was a championship-level trio to invest in. Yet a disappointing second half and another Leonard injury led the same front office to get cold feet just a few months later. The Clippers balked at giving George a 4th year on a new contract when Leonard had settled for 3, citing roster flexibility and the constraints of the new second apron. Never mind that the team still would have had to grapple with those constraints if George had accepted their 3-year offer, and that they could have just maneuvered their way under the apron later. With Leonard already locked up and plans to re-sign Harden, which the Clippers eventually did on a 2-year deal, LA was still clearly trying to compete for the franchise's first title when negotiating with George, whom they knew they wouldn't be able to replace on the open market. And without control of their own first-round draft pick until 2030, the Clippers were also painfully aware that there was no potential benefit to taking a step back in the standings. But we're supposed to believe they genuinely thought letting George walk and replacing him with role players was an acceptable result? We're supposed to believe they're okay with the shiny new Intuit Dome becoming the house 35-year-old James Harden built? No, the Clippers overplayed their hand by assuming George wouldn't receive a 4-year max offer despite all the signs pointing to Philadelphia. In a bizarre statement released following George's departure, the Clippers cited Kawhi's All-NBA abilities as a reason the franchise still felt confident it would field a highly competitive team this season and moving forward. That statement was written just 3 months after a right knee injury forced Leonard to miss postseason games for the 4th straight spring.
When will you Egypts learn?
Look, the 2019 bet on George and Leonard, which cost the Clippers future MVP contender Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and control of 7 draft picks, was a justifiable one at the time. But doubling down with Harden, which cost LA a couple more years of draft capital, and then recommitting to Leonard, only to play hardball with George, made absolutely 0 sense. The Clippers would have been better served either trading their stars last year to start recouping some draft capital, or staying all in to protect against the next inevitable Leonard setback. Instead, half measures and an unending faith in Leonard's failing body led the Clippers down a path where the only option left appears to be lying to themselves about Kawhi's health and future, while potentially handing Cooper Flag to the West favorite Thunder. Whether they're being misled or misleading us, LA's last 9 months are a good reminder of what the franchise's entire existence should have taught us by now. You can never trust the Clippers.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button.